quarterback.
Jenny, you need to rewrite that. Jalen Hurt was on a team that won the title. He was not the quarterback. That was Tua Tagovailoa, Skip Bayless. Since you always talk about Jalen Hurt saved Tua's bacon in the SEC title game. Tua saved his bacon and went on to become player of the game. Am I correct, Skip? Okay, now that we've cleared that up, let's move right along. Skip, the question, could he be a starting quarterback? Could he lead a team to the playoffs? I believe he could if you're going to format the system, kind of like what the Baltimore Ravens have done for Lamar Jackson. Now, if you just go say, okay, this is our system, okay, Jalen Hurts, go play like this, no. And what we're starting to see, Skip, and look, contrary to what people believe, every system is tailored to what this quarterback does really well. That's why Drew Brees is not running plays like Lamar Jackson. That's not what he does well. His job is to get the ball out of his hand quick. Okay, they've tailored a system to fit what Drew Brees does. A lot of what Seattle does is tailored, customized to what Russell Wilson does well. Now, these last two quarterbacks, Russell and Lamar, they also have great improvisational skills, Skip. But I believe if you're going to take Jalen Hurts, you must be willing to cater your system to what he does. Now, I'm not saying he's going to come in and start, Skip, but you're going to have to start working on a package of plays that if your starter goes down and he's asked to come into the game, you can have plays that he's going to be comfortable with. Kind of like when Joe Flacco got hurt and they brought Lamar Jackson in, Skip. They had a package of plays that Lamar felt very comfortable with, and as weeks progressed, it expanded. And eventually, he became the starter, and the offense was tailored completely for him. And guess what? They got a backup with a very similar skill set in RG3. And I believe that's what you're going to have to do with Jalen Hurts. If you're going to custom the system for him, Skip, I think he can have some success.
Okay, before I launch on this one, 2 quick points. Yes, I'm a lifelong, born and raised University of Oklahoma football fan, but I have been harshly objective about OU quarterbacks in the past before they got drafted. See Heisman Trophy winners Jason White and Sam Bradford. Did not like either one of them before they were drafted. Point number 2, tonight, you know it and I know it, Shannon Sharpe. This league is going to make a few astounding swing and miss, franchise-wrecking mistakes picking quarterbacks. Yeah. This league has had a long history of having no feel for picking quarterbacks. And it seems like in the mock drafts, teams are all over the place on how they value this current crop of quarterbacks. So I'm going to cut through all the mock, and I'm going to get right to the chase, which is this guy, Jalen Hurts. I watched all those games at Alabama, and I definitely watched all those games last year at Oklahoma. I believe in Jalen Hurts. I believe, and you're right, you would have to somewhat tailor the system to him, but I believe he can be a starting quarterback and he can take a team to the playoffs. He has that kind of capability because of his leadership intangibles, his will, and his playmaking. He is a playmaker. He is extremely durable. He is extremely powerful and elusive as a runner, not like Lamar. Lamar is elusive on just sheer quickness and speed, but Jalen Hurts can make you miss and make you look foolish because he'll run right through you. He reminds me a little bit in some ways of a Tim Tebow, except he's a quieter leader. He doesn't wear everything on his sleeve, his emotions on his sleeve. And he's obviously a more consistently accurate passer from first quarter to fourth quarter than Tim ever was. Tim got deadly accurate in the last 5 minutes of NFL games when that one year in 2011, when they went on that run in Denver, he led the league, did Tebow, in QBR over the last 5 minutes of those games with all those improbable, impossible comebacks that he pulled off. But Jalen Hurts has that kind of Tebow will in him. And all I need to tell you is he did go 38-4 as a starter in college, and he was the SEC Freshman of the Year that year. And listen, he did go 17-1 for that Alabama team that you talked about where Tua replaced him. I give you that. And he was struggling in the first half. And he did come in and then save them in the SEC championship game. And last year at Oklahoma, I know it was Lincoln Riley who can be a godsend for any quarterback, but he completed 70% of his passes. He threw 32 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, probably a little high in the interceptions for my taste, but he ran for 1,300 yards and scored 20 rushing touchdowns. That's 52 touchdowns Jalen Hurts was responsible for. I get it. It's in the Big 12. I get it. Defense can be an afterthought. But again, the QBR was the third best behind Tua and Burrow in the whole college, Division I, what do you call it? The division, the higher level of college football.
Yeah, FBS.
80 FBS. So he had an 87 QBR, which is it's pretty great. And so the point was that I look at that body of work between Alabama and Oklahoma, and I got to tell you, I really like him. And I know Mel Kiper has reported over the last week, stock rising, maybe his stock rising as fast as anybody's that Mel is tracking right now. So would I be shocked if somebody traded up into the bottom of the first round to take Jalen Hurts a la Lamar Jackson? Nope, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I think it would be a worthy move. I think he will validate that because, Shannon, we do share one thing about this draft. Neither of us is sold on Justin Herbert. So to me, this is just me, gut feeling from watching television, I'll take Jalen Hurts for my pro football team over Justin Herbert. I'll draft Jalen Hurts before I would think about drafting Justin Herbert.
Skip, when you look at it, drafting quarterback is a lot like horse racing. Skip, if I own a horse racing farm and I keep buying horses and they don't win races, I ain't gonna be in business too long. Well, if I draft a quarterback and I hit, it's kind of like having American Pharaoh, Justify, Secretariat, Seattle Salute. Skip, all I need is one. You draft one quarterback. The Patriots drafted Tom Brady 20 years ago. New England drafted Tom Brady 20 years ago. Or you get the coach, they get Peyton Manning. Skip, you just got to be right on that guy. You can be right on a lot of other guys, but none will have the impact that if you get that guy right. Skip, you can have the right jockey, but if you got the wrong horse, you're not winning. Well, if you get the right horse, and the horse is the quarterback position is what I'm talking about, Skip, I could have won on American Pharaoh. I could have won on Secretariat. And I'm not taking anything from Ron Turcotte because he's unbelievable, but I could have won on Secretariat. At 247 pounds, that's how good the big red chestnut coat was, Skip. That's how good he was.
Yep.
So if you get that gap at quarterback, Skip, you good. You gravy. You peachy. Whatever colloquialism you want to use, Skip, if you get that guy, everything else will fall into place.
Yep, I disagree. I don't think you could have won on American Pharaoh. You're just too big. It's too much weight for that horse.
I don't run Justify
Big
too.
Red.
I'd have won on Justify.
Hey, no, I don't think so. Big Red, Secretary.
Seattle Salute,
he could have carried you to the
Citation, all of them.
So.
Gallant Fox, Warren Admiral, Omaha.
I don't think so. Not big enough. Not big enough.
Sir Barton could have won on him too.
Yeah, I don't think so. Back to the drawing board.
I didn't mean to know. I didn't read the name of all of them, Jenny.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Skip.
Mike, it's over here somewhere. My Eclipse Award for covering horse racing is over here. I don't think you can see it today. We moved it around.
Stop gloating.
Back to this. I'm not gloating. I'm just pointing out. I'm stating facts. So the point is, everybody, the biggest X factor tonight is Jordan Love, who was named for Michael Jordan Love.
Yes.
Well, is he Michael Jordan?
Right.
I don't know. I told you I didn't watch him because Utah State wasn't good enough for me to watch last year. I realized he was sensational the year before. I realized he lost his head coach and he lost most of his starters on offense. Okay, so what? I'm not sure. I wasn't sure about Patrick Mahomes, and I did watch him a lot. And again, you didn't jump on the bandwagon until after you got to see him in Kansas City.
No.
I did not criticize or condemn the trade of Andy Reid to go up to get him in that draft. It's fine because I saw some flashes of brilliance from Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech, albeit against Big 12 defenses. I thought I saw some raw sort of athleticism, but raw quarterback feet, and he would try to make those throws at Texas Tech that he gets away with making in Kansas City, and I'd say, that won't work. Well, it works for Andy Reid because he fell into the perfect place with the perfect head coach, who is also the offensive coordinator, and a track team of receivers, and they protect him, and they do all the things that make Patrick Mahomes maximize his rare talent.
Yes.
Well, if Patrick Mahomes had gone to Jacksonville or somewhere else, God knows what might have happened.
No.
It might not have gotten off the ground, and he might have gotten his confidence destroyed in his first couple of years. Instead, he was the MVP, and now he's got a ring. So, again, I didn't see that coming. I thought he could be pretty good, not great. I've been very good in picking quarterbacks if you go back and check my record on this. But when we get to the X factor of, is Jordan Love Patrick Mahomes, I don't know. That's why this is so intriguing to me, because some people think that Jordan Love could go to the Dolphins or the Chargers at 5 or 6. Well, if that happens, the apple cart gets tumped over, and the apples are going to spill all the way down the draft, and Lord knows who would then trade up to try to snatch Tua. But I still say Jalen Hurts to me